What do you think this spending tells us about Sarah Ferguson's psychology and the world she was living in?
And because she's so indecisive, she can't just decide on one thing. This is again back to her childlike behavior. She'll buy all eight of something. There's stories now that one of the reasons it'll take so long to move from Royal Lodge is there's so many unopened Amazon boxes. She orders things and doesn't even open them. So there's a sort of hoarder instinct there. You see these stories of people who sort of just live amidst clutter because they can't resist buying things, treating themselves. And I think that's what she has. She needs to spoil herself to give herself some sort of validation.
Imagine being stripped of your titles, cut off from the crown, and dumped by your favourite charities, only to vanish into thin air. That is exactly what Sarah Ferguson just did. While the public demands to know how she is funding a life of ultra-luxury after being pushed completely outside the royal structure, she is hopping between ghost protocol wellness clinics in the Swiss Alps and elite hideouts in the Middle East. She has always had a remarkable ability to disappear when things become uncomfortable, but this time there are dark clouds trailing her that no amount of money can outrun. And it all started with a shocking move by a children's hospice that finally exposed the truth.
Well, they have paid a price. They've lost the Royal Lodge, they've lost their titles, they're pretty humiliated by what's happened. I think they're both in pretty bad mental states as a result of this. There's been a fracturing of the family. I think the daughters are slightly distancing themselves. Clearly the relationship between Andrew and Sarah has kind of broken down. They're no longer going to be living together. So I think they've paid a pretty big price for this, and I think there may be more to come, more disclosures. Their reputations are in tatters because of their lies about Epstein.
It is one thing to have your reputation damaged, but it is another entirely to have a children's charity decide you are too toxic to be associated with. That is exactly the nightmare Sarah Ferguson woke up to when the children's hospice, Julia's House, publicly severed ties with her. They made it clear that keeping her as a patron was simply inappropriate. This wasn't just a minor PR hiccup, it was a domino effect. Within hours, a wave of major charities pulled the plug on her patronages, leaving her completely isolated. Faced with an avalanche of public fury, she pulled off her signature move. She vanished. While the public was demanding answers, she wasn't hiding in a modest countryside retreat. Far from it. Reports suggest she checked straight into the Paracelsus Recovery Clinic in Zurich, Switzerland. This isn't your run-of-the-mill health spa. This is one of the most exclusive wellness clinics on the planet. Guests here pay an astonishing £13,000 per night. For that staggering price tag, clients get total privacy, luxury suites, and round-the-clock personal staff while they recover from emotional stress. But hiding in plain sight at a high-end medical compound is an expensive game, and it immediately triggered a massive question that the public has been asking for decades. How on earth is she paying for all of this? She has no formal job, no royal funding, and her financial credibility has been in the gutter for years. Yet, as soon as the pressure in Zurich got too hot, the trail didn't lead back to a humble life. Instead, sources claim she went on a high-speed tour of Europe and beyond, from the exclusive slopes of the French Alps to art fairs in the Middle East. She kept moving like a ghost. Every time the public thinks they have her backed into a corner, she finds a new luxury hideout to ride out the storm. But this time, the hiding places might not be enough, because the real reason she is running isn't just because charities are dropping her. It's because of what was found in a set of damning leaked emails that directly connect her to a monster.
But I've got a story of her staying still in one of Epstein's flats just around the corner in 2013, 2014 on a pretty regular basis. And then, of course, we've had the recent leaked email, which has shown that though she publicly distanced herself from Epstein and called him, I think, a paedophile, nothing to do with him, etc., in the spring of 2011. Literally at the same time, she was writing to him, describing him as a dear friend, you've been so good to the family, etc., and claiming then, when she was caught out in this, that she had been sort of forced to play a different role in public and private because he would sue her. Well, a convicted paedophile is hardly going to sue you for distancing yourself and describing him as a convicted paedophile.
The real reason Sarah Ferguson is running has nothing to do with needing a quiet vacation. It is because a set of leaked emails just exposed a side of her the public was never supposed to see. For years, she publicly claimed that her association with Jeffrey Epstein was a massive mistake. She even promised the world she would never have anything to do with him again. But behind closed doors, a completely different story was playing out. Leaked messages reveal that just weeks after publicly disowning him, she sent him a gushing apology. She didn't just backpedal, she showered him with praise. In the emails, she reportedly called the convicted offender a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. It was a total betrayal of what she had told the public, and it immediately sent shockwaves through the charities she represented. But the flattery didn't stop there. The messages paint a picture of someone incredibly desperate to keep Epstein on her side. Why? Because of the money. She had already admitted to taking £15,000 from him to settle her debts. However, the new leaks suggest she was asking for much, much more. In one message, she allegedly asked for massive sums between $50,000 and $100,000 just to help pay off what she called small bills. Another message reads like a frantic cry for help, asking for £20,000 for rent because a landlord was threatening to go to the press. She was drowning in debt, and Epstein was her financial lifeline. Her team now claims she only sent those flattering emails because Epstein was threatening to sue her for defamation. They say she was just trying to keep him quiet. But for the public, the damage is done. She looks like someone willing to say anything to protect her lifestyle. And as bad as this looks for her, the nightmare for her family was only getting started, because while she was writing these emails, her ex-husband was stepping into a legal trap that would blow their entire world apart. The fallout from her leaked messages didn't stop at public outrage. It just triggered a chain reaction that is systematically erasing her from society. In a historic move, the city of York held an emergency meeting and voted unanimously to strip her of her highest ceremonial honor, the freedom of the city. They made it clear that holding that title requires upholding values of decency, and her continued association with a monster fell well short of those expectations. But losing her titles and her honors is the least of her worries right now, because across the Atlantic, the stakes just became incredibly real. US lawmakers investigating the criminal enterprise have officially set their sights on her. A prominent US congressman on the House Oversight Committee has made a direct public plea for her to provide sworn testimony. They believe she holds critical information about her ex-husband's operations and her own deep business ties to the network. The pressure to step out of the shadows and speak under oath is now higher than it has ever been. She is running out of places to hide, and the walls are closing in. Publishing houses in the US have reportedly snubbed a massive £1.5 million book deal she was pitching because no one wants to be seen enabling her to cash in on the scandal. With her income streams dried up and her reputation in absolute tatters, she is facing a bleak financial future with no royal safety net to catch her. And that leaves the public asking the ultimate question: can the woman who has survived decades of controversy pull off one more miracle, or has her luck finally run out?
Sarah Ferguson is very clever at playing the press. She's allowed Andrew to take the flak, because clearly the Virginia Giuffre book focused everyone's attention on that story. And she's kind of managed to sort of not really get as much, shall we say, criticism or even media coverage as her husband. She's cut herself loose from him. She was meant to be very loyal and the happiest divorced couple ever, and yet suddenly, as soon as he leaves Royal Lodge and loses his title, she no longer wants to be with him. But I think she can see he's damaged goods and it's going to affect her rebranding. She has gone to rebranding experts to see how she can reinvent herself yet again. And whether I think she is very clever, and no doubt in Australia and America there will be naive people.
There is one thing you should never do, and that is underestimate Sarah Ferguson's ability to survive. She has built her entire public persona on being a fighter who bounces back from absolute rock bottom. Friends close to her claim she is not throwing in the towel. Behind closed doors, she is actively searching for a high-powered new public relations team to salvage her reputation and plan a massive comeback. But this time, the mountain she has to climb is steeper than ever before. The royal family has placed a brutal, invisible wall between her and the monarchy. King Charles is fiercely protecting the institution, and the days of her attending high-profile royal events are officially over. And the collateral damage of this fallout is already spilling over to the next generation. Her own daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, are now trapped in a horrific position. They are not working royals, but they have always maintained a respected presence within the circle. Now, insiders claim the sisters are facing quiet exclusion from major events. They are terrified that the toxic fallout surrounding their parents will permanently stain their own futures. Even their personal lives are feeling the heat. Reports suggest that at least one of her sons-in-law is setting hard boundaries, refusing to let the chaos disrupt his own business and family. She has survived toe-sucking scandals, massive debt, and global ridicule. She has always managed to reinvent herself, but as the public turns its back and charities run for the hills, many experts believe her luck has finally run out. What do you think? Will she pull off another impossible comeback and return to the spotlight? Or has this latest scandal finally closed that door for good? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.